What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video today, watching Ultra Vegito kills Madara, second of the top 5 strongest. Okay, by CallMeARJ. You know what I'm saying? Last one he got that new form. We about to see how strong this form is. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how strong he has became and stuff. So I'm ready to check this one out. I'm excited for this one actually, and if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Oh yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,500 by the end of the year, and yeah.
So our story continues with Vegito in his new form, standing with his mysterious black horns blaring out of his forehead and the V mark on his chest glowing a violent purple, as black signature lightning coats his entire figure. While in front of him, a giant titan, created of course by Madara, the second of the 5 strongest, stands still, intimidatingly. Within the giant apparition though, Madara remains as cocky looking as ever, not bothered in the slightest, it seems, by Vegito's new appearance, as he grabs onto his mask eccentrically and lets out... Well, would you look at that? You changed yet again. And this time, not just your hair color changed. How curious. Though, I have to say you look far less intimidating than earlier, even with those embarrassingly small horns on your head.
Man,
I don't believe that is supposed to be part of a Saiyan's anatomy, if I know my primates well. More like, in fact, what you see on a demon. Just all the more reason why you should no longer exist anymore, Vegito.
Yes, sir.
And finally, in typical fashion, Vegito begins laughing in response, before saying back, "So, just because I grew some horns, I'm a demon that doesn't deserve to exist, huh? But you gods just are freely able to go around annihilating entire planets as and when you choose, looking down on anything that is weaker than you. Yet, you are the ones that should remain? Is that what you're saying?" You have to just love the truly stupid logic you elderly gods stick to. Silence, you damn child! But suddenly, from what was once a calm and concerted demeanor, pure fury and anger can be heard in the voice as he yells, pointing down at Vegito. "I've had enough of your insolence, you puny scum!
Oh shit.
And enough of your damn sob story. Boo-hoo! A few weak gods from this realm killed your friends and family, and now you have a vendetta against us all? Give me a break.
Yeah.
We gods are what hold these universes together, and even the realms above too. You wouldn't even exist without beings like us. This whole place would be overrun with the demon realm. You're lucky you absorbed that weak one, because if it was one of the true emperors that were released, the Grand Priest or Zeno themselves would no longer be able to watch you like some circus act. For soon, Madara's mannerism turns back to sinister as he continues. In fact, this all only began because you killed a god. Because you killed Beerus. Because of that one action, all of those innocent little earthlings had to die. Your sons, your wives, your friends, all gone forever. It seems in actuality, it was all because of you. Not anybody else. It was because of you, Vegito. But in response, a cold and hardened stare manifests on Vegito's face, as he no longer can listen to any more. He just simply spits out, "Watch your tongue." But this blunt response only serves to make Madara laugh once more, as he grabs his mask again and continues, "Watch my tongue? Or what, mortal? Have you forgotten already exactly who I am? You seem to have completely lost your marbles after what I just said. What's wrong? Did I say something that stung? Earthling killer?" But as soon as Madara says that final line, with complete silence, Vegito just then raises his black lightning covered palm into the sky before then closing his palm as if now sealing someone's fate. But curiously, nothing seems to happen.
What the fuck?
What was that supposed to be? You truly are a joke. If I'm such a joke, then start laughing.
Oh shit.
And suddenly, out of nowhere from the heavens themselves, or maybe even the demon realm, a massive strike of black thunder shoots down and hits directly on the giant titan containing Madara, shocking the apparition instantly as its entire insides and skeletal structure become visible for an instant. Instantly leading to the giant being crashing down onto one knee and onto its right fist. Immediately tilting Madara, who experiences the massive G-force of the fall too, as he then lets out angrily, "What the hell? Did this mortal just command down lightning from this god-forsaken planet?
Yes, sir.
Who the hell does he think he is?
Him.
Some kind of thunder god. Where did he go?" But suddenly mid-sentence, as Madara turns at the Titan to see where Vegito is, he quickly notices the God Killer is nowhere to be seen anymore. Angering the impatient second as he yells out, "Damn it! That vile scrounger managed to distract me with that little magic trick. But now where the devil has he gone? The devil's right here, Madara." But suddenly, the voice of the God Killer is heard once more. Leading to Madara quickly turning around. Only for the smiling Vegito to now appear right behind him. And within the giant titan too, as Vegito nonchalantly lets out, "So this is what it's like inside this giant samurai." Thought it looked weird at first, but it's kind of cozy. What? What are you doing in here? Immediately leaving the panicked Madara to react in fear. Now looking head-on at the newly transformed Vegito as he folds his arms without a care in the world, making Madara continue, "If you don't get out of my sight, right? Shut up!"
It was one of the weak demons,
Before
right?
suddenly, with the fastest and most brutal of kicks, Vegito slams his foot 300 Spartan style right into the chest of Madara. So hard, it almost seems like his foot penetrated right through into the deity's body. Sending Madara shooting out straight from the great samurai and right down to the ground as if falling from a skyscraper. And once we zoom in, the legendary second is seen as helpless as any of the mortals he used to look down on, as the force of Vegito's kick continues sending him down, acting like its own force of gravity. Until, with a violent crash, Madara smashes straight into a group of sharp rocks and boulders on the ground below, and unable to do a thing about it. Meanwhile though, now all alone, now within the Titan Madara created, in the middle of the center crystal, Vegito remains. And looking around at his surroundings, he soon comments with a curious smirk. Interesting. This seems to be a little different to the giant I can create via Ultra Instinct.
It is a little
Let's
different.
see how this thing works, huh? But back on the ground, where Madara
he taking over the
remains
Shushin
buried
now?
in a
Hold on now.
smoking pile of rubble on the floor, a slight rumble can be heard until... With a crash, something bursts forth. Something or someone I'm sure we all know. As the hand of the second is then seen bursting out with a murmur until... Finally, the second of the 5 strongest emerges in full. Damaged, but still able to move and full of anger. You! And with his hair in disarray and his mask now cracked for the first time in millennia, he would continue. Shit. How dare you use my tools as your own? How dare you use the possessions of the deities, you damn mortal! A weakling like you has no place touching these things. And nor will you possess even an inkling of the power and grace needed to use them either. Stop fooling yourself and get out!
Begging?
Oh, really? But in response, Ultra Vegito, of course, just breaks out in laughter. His grin wide as he suddenly raises his arm out again, as if to strike Madara with thunder again, before saying, So I can't handle this level of power, you say, huh? Not enough grace. I guess that's because of these horns too, right? Well, let's just put that to the test then, shall we? As instantly, on command of Vegito, with even more speed and precision than before, the giant apparition pulls back its giant sword and angles its trajectory straight for Madara. What?
Can't do this with a Shushin though, but
leaving the second momentarily stunned in place as he just observes his own most powerful weapon turn on him inexplicably due to the actions of a mortal. And with a thunderous roar and explosion of force, the giant then slams instantly the energy-powered blade straight down onto the second without mercy. All the while, Ultra Vegito watches from within. And amazingly, the force and power of such a divine tool, when we zoom out into space, slices the entire planet in half in the aftermath also. Causing a portion to instantly then separate and be lost to the void of space as it slowly moves away. Oops! And with such monstrous destruction done, a cheeky smile comes across Vegito's face as he covers his mouth to stop himself from laughing and then says, Looks like I went a little too far. Who knew I had such grace? Hey, Madara? No worries though. I don't seem to detect any other life forms on this desolate planet anyway. I guess that old codger Arak wanted to fight me all alone. Respectable for a god, I guess. But what about this one? Is he dead already or what? Not a chance, God Killer! But of course, from behind Vegito, the very same voice of the god he was talking about shouts out from behind. And practically unbothered though, Vegito would then just turn around slowly, with a smile inquiring, Oh, there you are, Mr. Second. Thought I lost you there for a moment. How are you doing? You look a little different. Get out!
Damn.
As shockingly, Madara does indeed appear behind Vegito, but not as we remember him, as now his entire fit appears totally damaged in all aspects, with his left leg and right arm now exposed, and crucially, now his mask broken and revealing one of his dangerous eyes, as with a cold look he would let out, You will pay a far dearer price than whatever the priest had in mind now, boy. Do as you like with these lower gods, but make a fool of one of the 5, and you will pay for eternity, my friend. Immediately leading to Madara rushing in now point blank at a stood still Vegito with his right leg fully pulled back. Off with your head! Managing to land straight on what appears as the God Killer's face for devastating impact. That is of course until the true impact is seen, with the giggling Vegito's neck bent to the side, but an unbothered look showing us just how little the attack did as he quips, "Off with my head? You're lucky to itch my ear with something like that. Have you gotten weaker or something? I don't remember you being so pathetic." What? How dare you! In a flash, triggering Madara, who remains pushing his leg harder and harder, hoping to budge Vegito even an inch. While the still smiling Vegito would just look him dead in the eyes and let out,
you kicked him.
"Wait, that's not all you've got, is it? Come on, do something actually entertaining." What a disappointment you are, Madara. Guts will be rolling in his grave.
Damn.
Before instantly grabbing onto Madara's prone leg, before sweeping his grip back in a stance, ready to throw him like a shot put, as he says crassly, "Perhaps it's time you join him there." Yeah! Suddenly then throwing the legendary second of the 5 with vicious force straight down once again, as the helpless Madara can barely do a thing. Shooting down directly to the ground like a laser beam, within nanoseconds, shaking the very core of what's left of the planet. But once again, though there is an eerie silence under the rubble at first, it's not long before Madara, in an intoxicated rage, would burst out even more damage than ever before.
Power.
And now, with his entire face unmasked for the first time, his true emotional anger now being finally visible. As once his face calms back down, as he stands surrounded in electricity, through gritted teeth, he lets out, "You. This joke has gone on long enough. I don't remember the last time I ever even felt the cold air on my skin. But your death will be colder, God Killer. Whatever's going on here cannot be allowed. A mere mortal contending with me. This has to be some form of trick. The same you used to defeat Guts, no doubt.
A trick.
If only I still had my sword. This battle would already be
top 5
over."
What do we need a sword for?
And for a moment, with this statement uttered, there's a period of silence as Madara stands before the menacingly tall Titan. But from within, Vegito, now showing his same side, grows curious over Madara's claims, as he inquires, "Even after seeing the clear difference in our powers, you still underestimate me so much that you think it's just because you're missing your sword? Do you really believe the utter garbage you're spouting out, or are you trying to make me angry?"
Being both.
But Madara, now smiling cunningly back at Vegito, would then respond, "Oh, most definitely, my young friend. There isn't a shade of doubt in my mind. You'd be finished if I had my legendary blade back with me. I have mastered the art of swordsmanship over millions of years.
Damn.
There isn't a warrior alive who could best me when a katana is in my possession. You forget, those same sword skills you were so impressed by from Guts were all just the meager teachings I gave him while he studied under me. This isn't even a question. After all, you do remember what happened the last time you attacked me with my blade in hand, don't you, God Killer?" As behind Madara, a flashback is then seen to the moment the second instantly beheaded Vegito. The first time they ever clashed. And in final response, the God Killer would then curiously begin biting onto the glove of his left hand.
Okay.
Slowly pulling on it until finally completely removing it and revealing his bare arm. Until suddenly, with his glove still in mouth, muffling his tones, Vegito would hold out his palm straight towards Madara with his energy absorption device on full show.
Okay.
This immediately alarming the second as he changes stance into one which is presumably defensive, as he yells back, "So, your response is just to blast me from all the way up there, huh? Cowardly move, mortal. But fine. Sword or not, I will still find a way to expose your weakness.
You ain't
You
do that,
are
Madara.
nothing
Look,
to
man,
me."
I like it.
But as Madara rants on his assumptions, meanwhile, the shape of the giant energy apparition in the distance begins to distort, until beginning to suddenly fade away from the legs and arms first, and then finally,
Not
near
the
completely,
Susanoo. What the
as
Susanoo
it
do?
disappears into a swirl that seems to be centered all around Vegito. And of course, once we zoom in closer, we see the reasoning become obvious.
You enjoyed the
As
power?
through his energy absorption device, Ultra Vegito takes in all of the energy that Madara had released to create the Titan. And eventually, nothing is then left, as everything vanishes in a puff of smoke. Delicious.
Oh.
With Vegito's own palm being red hot and smoking itself from just how quick and concentrated the energy absorption was, before then placing back on his glove with the lowest of urgency. Leaving Madara now open-mouthed, having seen this technique for the first time, as he comments, "This vile creature! So this is what you meant by tasting my energy. You can absorb it. Yet another thing you have stolen from me. Enjoy it while you can. But I warn you, that wasn't even a fraction of my true power." But nonchalantly, as Vegito with his folded arms descends to the ground with a muffled thud, he would just then say, "Oh, I know that. Would be a bit embarrassing if that was any real percentage of your energy, because I barely felt it. That might be because now your energy is meaningless to me, or maybe it's because you haven't got that little toothpick of yours to attack me with. And if that's what you think, who am I not to believe you? Tell me, Madara, are you a righty or a lefty?" Before, without any hesitation, Vegito suddenly lifts his arm to grab onto his right horn and then... With a raucous scream straight out of the pits of hell, Vegito's entire face becomes covered in veins, as he seemingly begins yelling as if putting all his energy and strength into one mystery action. Huh? Now what is this freak doing? Another transformation? Panicking Madara as he begins to step back from the sudden change in mannerism from Vegito. Come on! As soon, something very interesting begins to be seen as Vegito slowly pulls out his horn until...
Oh, what the fuck?
Once fully pulled out, with a splatter of blood, what is inexplicably revealed is an entire katana at the base of the horn, covered in black lightning, as a disorientated Vegito just lets out... Well, that's going to hurt in the morning. What is he?
Different.
Leaving Madara now even more gobsmacked at what this supposed mortal can do, as he watches on wide-eyed, just muttering out incoherent sounds until... Yeah! I believe this will be a suitable replacement for what you had. It's imbued with half of my energy after all, so consider it evening the playing field.
Nigga, cocky.
And just like that, Madara quickly grabs onto the handle as if second nature, peering at it from the side of his eye with curiosity, taking in its obvious power. And now as silent as a baby given its dummy, Madara would then hold up the blade and stare down, assessing its quality before saying, "Fine craftsmanship. The materials seem high quality too. This is the work of a mortal?"
Yep.
Before seemingly all his confidence returns, as he pulls back the sword and stares at the now one-horned Vegito, and then saying, "So, you say this blade contains half your power? Well, let us see if you're bluffing or not. Somehow, I don't think I should be trusting one as demonic as you. Let's see what this thing can do!"
Got a damn thing.
As instantly, in a strange sword stance, the second then swipes his new blade with full power, striking nothing. But once we see things from Vegito's perspective, even with just a swipe in the air, a huge current of sharp wind rushes straight for an unmoving Vegito. And with Vegito's hair blowing in all directions, and rubble crackling on his body as the airstream gets closer and closer to him, Vegito would say, "I told you so," before vanishing just in time. And then reappearing as just a stream of air from that one swipe leads to a massive mountain behind being sliced clean in half. As Vegito then asks with a smirk, "So, does it meet your requirements then? Will I finally be able to see this true power of yours, Mr. Second?"
Oh.
And Madara, now enthralled with his new weapon, would not even pay any mind to Vegito, as he would stare into the blade and with a smile say, "Oh yes, this will meet the job and then some. I do believe you've made a grave mistake here, Vegito.
What happened?
It seems once again you let your overconfidence create your downfall.
Downfall where?
And now I'm ready to put you down for eternity. Forget what that priest wants. I can deal with him later. I'm erasing you from existence here and now." As immediately, with his body contorted into his signature sword stance, the maskless Madara displays a quietly confident smirk, knowing full well in his mind how this battle will now go. Now that's the spirit!
What?
But as Madara's confidence grows, Vegito's enthusiasm does too. As with his arms folded once again, almost looking down at the second, he would simply just say, "Come then, I haven't got all day."
Oh shit.
With not a moment in vain, Madara would then blast off at Vegito with fury in his eyes, and his now demonic sword in hand. While Vegito himself would just begin angling his body forward with a cocky smirk, readying himself for battle, even with his arms still folded. But just as Madara slashes his blade, Vegito, even with half energy, dodges perfectly, still not letting go of his hands as he smirks and comments, "Oops, just missed me there, friend. Why don't you try again? Maybe you've grown a little rusty in the few minutes you've been without a blade. Right, Sword Master?"
Yeah, sword master.
Shut up! Shut up! Triggering Madara mid-attack, he soon begins to doubt himself, thinking, what happened there? The strike was pin perfect. Timing, movement, speed, It couldn't get any better. Was that just a fluke? It has to be. Just die! As now enraged and losing himself from within, Madara would swing aimlessly and with acute ferocity in every direction, while Vegito, still with his arms folded, would dodge everything like playing with a mere child. To think, you may have actually put an end to me if you hadn't shown me that nightmare.
Oh.
What a horrific thing to do. And you think you gods are righteous, forcing me to see my loved ones die over and over, while I could do nothing but stand and watch. That wasn't nice, Madara. That wasn't nice at all! Before, with a slight hint of anger in his tone, Vegito would launch his legs straight through Madara's torso once again, leaving the second to spit out blood and almost pop his eyeballs straight out of his head. But this time, Madara isn't sent for a crash landing, but instead skips back on the soles of his feet, grabbing onto his chest in pain, before in an exhausted state, letting out... This can't be happening to me. This is like fighting a real S-tier demon. Something isn't adding up here. But as Vegito watches on with an air of patronization, he would cockily comment, "Oh, my dear Madara, when will you let go of this ego that you have from being a so-called god, and just accept this absolute gulf between our power levels? Our difference in strength was never anything to do with your weapon, but everything to do with your pathetic existence. Those who talk down to the gods will meet their fate one day, and if I can't be the one to do it with my abilities, then I shall destroy you along with this planet!" Immediately then launching his blade downwards, straight into the planet's surface, knowing with the blade's power, the whole planet would blow instantly. But just as the blade reaches mere centimeters away from impact... What? Standing there unbelievably, as if having teleported, the God Killer uses his own foot as a shield against the planet, not grimacing in the slightest, despite the confirmed sharpness and power of the blade. And as Vegito looks into the fear-stricken face of Madara, looking down on him, he unfolds his arms and says with a concerted smile, "Tut tut, what a brainless resort from you. But I guess it's to be expected of such reckless gods, so desperate to not be one-upped by the mortals they spit on. Unfortunately for you, one of you silly deities already tried to pull that dirty trick on me once, and I won't be falling for it again."
Don't fall for it.
Don't you dare compare me to those low-life destroyers! The now crazed Madara fruitlessly try once again to slaughter Vegito, not remembering seconds ago how impossible the task will be. Enough, little piggy. But before Madara can embarrass himself any further, Ultra Vegito sheds a tear of mercy and punches him in the solar plexus immediately, knocking the wind straight from within him. And left coughing in pain and agony, now on his knees, he can only mutter one word. How? But as Vegito walks closer and Madara tries to use his katana to keep himself upright, Madara would then finally let out, "Wait! Before you take my energy, mortal, just as you did my students, allow me one request. I have one last gift for you before I go. A gift I wanted to give Guts, But you as the one who bested both he and I, is more deserving of it. And Vegito, looking down proudly like a god himself, would then respond, "Of course. Unlike you gods, I know the meaning of mercy. Say your final words, and feel free to give me this gift. I'm sure I shall treasure it always." And just as Vegito says this, Madara takes his chance and immediately grabs onto the arms of the unmoving Vegito. And for a second, there is an air of curiosity as Vegito remains still, just watching as Madara tries his best. But as the second looks up and continues, "Sorry for the abrupt grab. I just need to look you in the eyes as I give you this." To which a cold and unbothered Vegito would just respond, "Go on then. I'm waiting."
He's waiting.
Demon Flames! As suddenly, as Madara shouts out this call, his eyes change once again and leak blood, as Vegito is instantly caught on fire with what seems an intense black fire, soon engulfing his entire face in nanoseconds before ending the God Killer's life as his whole face is burned away instantaneously, left with nothing but a singed skull still burning in what seems like unending flames. I knew it! I knew I could do it! Call yourself a demon, then you will burn like one. These flames will burn for as long as I live. Sealed straight from the demon realm. You grew cocky, God Killer, and that is why...
That shit didn't work.
But soon, the immense pure serotonin the second was experiencing is cut short, as a horrific sight then stares him back in the face. What? I thought you were going to give me a gift, friend. Hurry up. I feel like it's getting a little hot.
That nigga Ghost Rider.
Leaving Madara with nothing to say but whimpers and cowering breaths, looking at what could only be described as his worst nightmare. And soon, Vegeta would then just grab onto the skull of Madara, bleeding and crying from his eyes, with both hands and say lovingly, "Oh, you poor little thing! You look like you've seen a ghost. How about I just put you to sleep now, so you can forget all about it?" And just like that, within seconds, Madara would fall to his knees, and then eventually face first onto the ground, now deceased, with all his energy given to God. And with that done, from the still burning skull of Vegito, pink goo would begin to form around his chin. As he slowly then begins laughing, the goo would then formulate around his skull. Until soon forming the perfect shape of his face, and then...
Are you?
As with the flames now
all gone
and covered in black lightning, Ultra Vegito would stand good as new once again without a scratch on him. Now
he said he's going through the guys with no scratches.
But as this scene takes place, curiously, it begins being watched on a familiar screen. And then when we see the petite Zeno smiling as he watches, he would then innocently comment, "Wow! Son Goku has got even stronger. Amazing. And now he looks even more cool." But as Zeno says this, a visibly annoyed Grand Priest would carefully slam his palms onto the table, looking with his side eye, careful to not show his anger to the Omni King, and says, "Yes, so very cool. Seems Madara made one too many mistakes, but I guess that is to be expected by one of the two weakest in the 5. The rest will not fail. I promise that." But Zeno, with a strange look on his face, would have other plans, and reply, I'm not sure I want to see that die. I think Goku will just win again. I want to see something different. I think I should send one of the guards to fight him. What? As instantly, on reaction to one of the most unexpected lines in the whole story, both of the Omni King's guards and the Grand Priest stepped back in pure disbelief over what they had just heard, and now leave us wondering what on earth will happen to Ultra Vegito now.
Fire chapter by CallMeARJ again, bro. Fire. You know what I'm saying? He just punking that little dude, bro. He just punking him for no reason. What he do to you? Yeah. Anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to CallMeARJ. Check out the last chapter right here. Check out another video right here, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.